Hi, I'm Lisa Leiter. In Chicago Business Today, you swoop. This week, Living Social raised $400 million in new funding to better compete with Groupon. The two companies dominate the daily deal market, which is expected to surge to almost $4 billion over the next 4 years. There are scores of competitors trying to chip away at their control of the industry, including Chicago-based USwoop. The company is about to launch the first-ever market for trading its daily deals and is planning to expand to other cities. USwoop founder Alex Lurie joined me to talk about it. Alex, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Lisa. Appreciate it.
So there's no question that companies like yours are sort of like the Davids battling the Goliath known as Groupon. How does your company intend to stand out against Groupon and Living Social, for that matter, who dominate the industry?
It really comes down to ensuring that the consumers are having a wonderful experience. And obviously we have to be having amazing deals, which we do. And our consumers, 80,000 of which I've come to expect every day. But for us, we want to make sure that you as a consumer are having a good time when you're redeeming it. And specifically it comes down to limiting the quantity we sell. A lot of group buying sites, of which we're not, will tend to oversell a deal. Merchants can have a difficult time fulfilling this, I was about to say swoop, but that voucher. In our case, we're limiting the amount we sell so that the consumer can get the reservation of choice, their experience is positive, and then ultimately, hopefully they're going to come back for the long term.
Okay. And, you know, people have tried these types of businesses and failed. You haven't. What are you doing differently?
What we're looking to do is foster a really greater sense of community on our site, and specifically coming out with some really cool functionalities that not only function to foster community, but ultimately make people really excited to be a part of what we're doing and add value to consumers. And specifically, that's where the swooper market comes into play.
Yeah, tell us about that. This is a new site that you're going to have, basically an aftermarket site for the daily deals, right?
It's really exciting, Lisa. Now they're going to be able to put up swoops that they purchased that they may no longer be interested in, or they see something else they're more interested in, and put it up on our what we're calling the swooper market. It's a place where they can swap swoops with each other. What's really cool is not only can you swap swoops, but you can also purchase deals from us that you may have previously missed. Now the deal's not going to be quite as sweet. It might be a few bucks more expensive, but it gives you a second chance to swoop in.
So for someone that maybe was out of town the day that you offered their favorite salon's deal, they're going to be able to get that. They might pay a little bit more, but for them it may still be a discount.
That's right. So they're able to buy from us with confidence, and secondly, they can exchange with their fellow swoopers. And what's really important too is we're seeing a plethora of new sort of secondary markets popping up, and we wanted to provide a safe way for our consumers to transact with each other and swap swoops. And we can guarantee that the swoop hasn't previously been redeemed. So whereas other sites, like a Craigslist model, you don't know if you're buying an authentic swoop.
And how much of your total revenue do you expect this swooper market to have?
You know, although we are selling swoops, you know, we think that that's going to certainly provide additional revenue streams for us. But it was ultimately, you know, originally concepted to add value for the consumers from the standpoint of swapping with each other.
You've obviously given up some revenue, not expanding previous till now. Why
Sure.
now? Why haven't you done it?
And we really want to understand the local fabric of where we were and make sure that we're really delivering the value consumers were looking for. Now we are in the middle of a modest funding round that's going to allow us to expand our swoop footprint to several new cities in 2011, and I think additional funding rounds may follow, but we've really tried to be controlled about how we're growing to make sure we're delivering against our guarantee and our promise.
You've been self-funded until now.
Until now.
And you're raising about
$1.5 million.
Okay. And then after that, you foresee?
I mean, it could be a multiple. I mean, we would anticipate a multiple of that if we were to go an additional funding round, yeah.
All right, Alex. Well, we'll be watching you going forward. Thanks so much for joining us.
Lisa, thanks for having me.
USwoop is planning to start its service in the northern and western suburbs and will also expand to Minneapolis-St. Paul in early summer. Well, that's this edition of Chicago Business Today. For more on this story, be sure to check out chicagobusiness.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.